Hello, today I want to talk about my upcoming short film, Open Eyes, Gray and Pale, coming soon. This was a huge team effort between me and my fellow creative friend Maceo, and we are super excited to release it. The main topic I want to talk about today is how to increase the budget of a short film without actually having money. You see, people like us, we don't just have companies like, hey, here's $1 million for your upcoming project. So we have to make do with what we have, while also trying to match the quality of productions that actually have money. There's so many different ways to achieve this, but today I want to talk about 3 major things that we tried to stick to on this production that I think really helped in the end with upping the overall quality. Just to get into the background of the movie a little bit, it is a horror thriller, not like insanely graphic or anything like that. We're not really interested in making films like that. It's more psychological, and it deals with a man who is trapped in this facility where they are doing these really messed up tests on people in order to try and turn these subjects into the perfect person. And we follow our main character, Nathan, as he tries to survive these tests and potentially find a way out of this facility. Of course, stuff goes wrong along the way. Chaos ensues. There's guys with these cool gas masks. I feel like I should probably use that in the marketing, considering our extras almost suffocated to death in those things. Sir, what do you think of the situation at hand?
I'm probably gonna kill.
Sir, if there was one thing you could do to Maceo when this was all done, what would it be?
Just one thing?
Sir, do you regret all of your life choices that have brought you to this moment?
Yes.
Sir, how do you feel knowing that you're torturing all of your cast and crew?
Wouldn't be possible without me, right? Right?
But it's an awesome film. I'll say it right now, it's the best thing we've made so far. And like I already said, we are super excited to release it. Figuring out your vision for the whole project in pre-production. A great way to give your project a huge boost in quality is to have the overall idea and tone set before you even start shooting. Maceo wrote this a long time ago, and it's only just getting done now because we spent a long time on it in the pre-production phase. Writing, shot listing, location scouting, figuring out the wardrobe, those are all things that should be done way before you even hit record on a camera. And these will absolutely set your project apart from other ones that you can just clearly tell were thrown together last minute without any kind of planning. A quick trick that I used was camera testing, and more specifically, we made the LUT of the film and we put that together based on some reference images that me and Maceo looked at from Shot Deck, not sponsored, but I do love their website. And then we could load the LUT into the camera in order to see what it would look like later on in editing. So then that way, any kind of lighting things, the camera might say, oh, you're underexposed. But if it looks good with the LUT, then you don't really have to worry about it being underexposed because it looks fine with the LUT. And it's also way easier to keep your shots consistent with the lighting that way. Do not skip pre-production, especially camera testing. Next up is work with what you have and focus on what is most important. This part should be pretty self-explanatory, but I have met a handful of people who said they were going to make a project and then immediately started looking at all the stuff they have to buy. I'm talking camera, lenses, lighting, locations, paid actors. Heck nah. That's not to say that you can't do those things. It's just like, if you can avoid doing them, avoid it. The majority of our budget went towards 2 main things: set design and production design. So that was costumes, props, stuff you'd see in the background, and food for cast and crew, because you need to feed your cast and crew. That is the #1 priority for you as the main filmmaker on a project. And if you don't do that, you're a bad person, just saying. Almost all the other stuff that we used on this project was stuff that we already had though. Now, I will be honest, not everybody has the gear that I have. I mean, I've been collecting this stuff for a couple of years now because it's something that I really enjoy doing, and you know, I want the quality to be really good. But I've put years into saving up and buying this stuff. I didn't just go out and get all of it on my first project, not even my second or third one. And we could have absolutely made this movie without any of this fancy stuff. It is still 100% possible. It's more important to focus on the fundamentals, not necessarily what specific lighting you're using, but just like the quality of the light. How does it look on the character's face on the camera? Not, is it a $500 spotlight from Aperture or something? Like, nobody's gonna know the difference between a big fancy studio light and a lamp, as long as you actually put the time into making the lamp look pleasing on camera. And it's not the camera quality that matters, it's the movement and the composition of the actual shots that you have. Like, I could have just as easily shot this whole video like this, and what is this? And I know it's cliche to say, oh, just use your phone. You know, I sound like the old head directors out there. But we're at a point now where, yeah, that's true. Like, it's possible. We're at the point now where I can't tell the difference between this and this if you put actual effort into making this look like this. I recommend watching Standard Story Company's most recent video. I will link it down in the description or put it up in the iCards, whatever works. He shot the entire thing on his iPhone, and it totally works because he actually put time and effort into making it look good. And he didn't just go, oh, all right, we're gonna film the first scene, and is it on? Good, go. For me, the most helpful trick that I used on this project is negative fill. So what is that? That is literally, I had like a $25 Amazon reflector 5-in-1 thing, and you just put it on the black side and you have it just off screen to the point it creates some shadow on your character's face. I don't even have it up here. But focusing less on the light and more on the shadows, I felt like almost every shot we were doing, just adding that in, I'm like, this looks like the best shot I've ever shot before. You could even use like a black sheet or literally anything dark, just put it off screen, and 9 times out of 10, it will instantly make the shot that you're trying to get better because you're adding actual depth. It's super easy and super cheap. Last but not least, take your time in post. Please. This still boggles my mind sometimes. I've seen so many low budget films that could have been so much better if just a little bit more time was spent in the editing room. Unless you have a film festival deadline that you're trying to beat, there's not really a good reason to rush through editing on your short film. For this specific film, I went into it knowing this is probably going to take a couple months to put together. We edited scene by scene, just putting stuff together just to get like the shot timing right. No sound, no music, nothing. Just like, does it cut together well? And we re-edited that multiple times because we would watch a scene back and go, oh, that shot doesn't cut to that shot as good as I used to think it did. Only after we did that, when we got a good flow in the edit, did we move on to other things. The sound, the music, the color, etc. And I spent weeks doing just sound design, and there were even some scenes, some portions where I would do like a 10-second sequence all night. I would literally just focus on like 10 seconds of the movie and just sound design the crap out of it. Because at the end of the day, that kind of commitment and passion that you put into a project, that's what's going to set it apart from the other amateur stuff out there. And that's going to make it the best that it can be. Sitting with it, living with it, playing it back over and over and over again, and tweaking even the smallest little things till it's perfect for you. Chances are nobody's even going to notice that for every single footstep for all the soldiers in your short film, you actually layered 3 different sound effects together to give it the punchiness that it needs, with the little extra detail like the gear shaking on their uniforms. Chances are nobody's going to notice that, but that's what just makes it so much better, is having detail like that. And it would be so empty and beginner level if you just used a basic footsteps on concrete.mp3 compared to spending that extra time to go the extra mile for even the smallest of details. And like I said before, take your time. Nobody's sitting next to you with a gun to your head, hopefully, telling you gotta get this film done next week. You literally just finished filming it. I need it on my desk, uploaded to YouTube next week. Like, take your time, have fun with it, work on it till you literally don't see anything else that you could work on. I heard it before from somewhere, I don't really remember, but they said you'll get to the point where you're tweaking things that are so small that literally nobody's going to notice whether you changed that little thing or not. And once you're at that point, which hopefully you've done all the bigger stuff before you reach that point, but once you've reached that point, that's when it's like, all right, let's call it. Quick trick for editing: layer your sounds. Like I said earlier, you might hear one giant sound effect that sounds like, oh, just it's one huge sound, but it's probably more like 10 to 20 layers on top of each other. And there's almost no part of the film where I just threw in one sound and left it by itself. There's always layers upon layers of stuff going on. Layering your sounds not only makes it, more original, and you're not just throwing something in there that somebody else probably also just threw into their project. I'm looking at you, Obsession, and Bear's front door.
Where do you want to go?
But it will also give a higher quality and punch to the sounds in your film. Anyway, that about wraps up this video. I hope you were able to learn something, and I hope that this video got you inspired to go out there and start trying to create your own stuff. Remember, if I can do it, you definitely can too. Right now is a great time for indie filmmakers to get their voices heard and to get their projects out there. I mean, just look at Backrooms and Obsession. They are record-breaking hits with fairly low budgets. And even that is still a lot of money considering what we spent on this project. But one day we'll have a bigger budget like that. Anyway, God bless, and drink some water.
Rolling.